They told him he didn't look the part, that he didn't fit the mold. Hollywood slammed the door in his face, again and again. But instead of giving up, Vin Diesel picked up a camera and kicked that door open himself. What started with rejection turned into one of the most unlikely success stories in film history. This isn't just about action movies or fast cars. It's about grit, vision, and a man who refused to wait for permission. Before he was the face of one of the biggest action franchises in the world, Vin Diesel was just another struggling actor knocking on Hollywood's doors. And those doors didn't just stay closed, they were slammed in his face. Casting agents couldn't place him. He was too racially ambiguous for the roles they had. Not white enough, not black enough. His voice was deep, his look unconventional, and no one knew what to do with him. So they passed. Again and again. But where most would crumble under that kind of rejection, Diesel did something different. He took control of his own story. Born Mark Sinclair, Vin Diesel grew up in New York City, raised by a single mother and a stepfather who worked as a theater manager. His first taste of acting came early, when he and his friends broke into a theater and were caught, not by the police, but by the director, who offered them roles in a play instead of punishment. That moment sparked a love for performing, but it would be decades before the world would recognize him. After years of struggling to get cast, Diesel realized Hollywood wasn't going to hand him anything. So, he took matters into his own hands. He wrote, directed, produced, and starred in a short film called Multifacial, which explored the exact racial identity struggles he faced in real life. He shot it on a shoestring budget and entered it into the Cannes Film Festival. It was raw, it was honest, and it got noticed. Suddenly, people were paying attention. One of those people? Steven Spielberg. Spielberg saw Multifacial and was so impressed that he created a role for Diesel in Saving Private Ryan. That moment cracked open the door. But Diesel didn't stop there. He followed it with Pitch Black, where his portrayal of the anti-hero Riddick caught fire with audiences. And then came The Fast and the Furious. That film didn't just launch a franchise, it launched Vin Diesel into a level of superstardom no one in casting rooms could have predicted. But even as the Fast and Furious saga exploded into a billion-dollar juggernaut, Diesel never forgot his roots. He kept his production company, One Race Films, as a way to ensure he could keep telling stories on his own terms. He advocated for more diversity in Hollywood long before it became a buzzword. And behind the scenes, he stayed deeply involved in the creative process, from script to final cut. He wasn't just an actor, he was a builder, a visionary. Vin Diesel's rise wasn't smooth or glamorous. It was filled with doubt, rejection, and years of invisibility. But what makes his story extraordinary isn't just the stardom he achieved, it's how he earned it. Not by waiting for someone to give him a shot, but by creating that shot himself. His entire career is a testament to self-belief, to taking rejection and turning it into motivation, to knowing that just because the world doesn't see your value doesn't mean it's not there. And yet, despite all his success, Diesel remains something of an enigma. He keeps his private life private. He doesn't crave the headlines or the scandals. Instead, he lets his work speak for him. He honors his late friend and co-star Paul Walker with every new Fast installment, keeping the heart of the franchise alive. He shows up for his fans, stays loyal to his family, and continues to surprise Hollywood by thriving on his own terms. In an industry that worships image and labels, Vin Diesel defied both. He didn't have the pedigree. He didn't have the look. What he had was grit, heart, and a relentless will to be seen. Not for what he wasn't, but for everything he was. And in the process, he built something bigger than fame. He built a legacy.